All right, we're starting out laying down today, so go ahead and lay down, get comfortable, take your time. I like to kind of move my shoulder blades a little bit away from each other and then press them down into the mat, kind of broadening the chest. It feels good. Okay, so really ground your shoulder blades and then see if you could wiggle your hips maybe an inch or two away from your shoulders so that your spine gets a little longer. Maybe put a little bend in your knees if it feels good. Okay, you can knock them together to help your low back release. And you can drop them apart to help your hips release. So options there. And then it might feel good to put a little cactus bend in your elbows. Okay, externally rotating your arms. And begin to find your breath. Big inhales, big exhales, all through the nose. Connect with the sound of your breath and the feel of it. Notice the rise and fall of your belly and your rib cage. I want to feel that we're growing the breath here, making it longer. Each inhale takes a little bit more in. And with each exhale, we can squeeze the air completely out. So as we're just here breathing, just paying attention to breath, it's nice to think a little bit about the musculature of breathing. So with your eyes closed as you breathe, just become aware of your diaphragm, the big muscle between your lungs and your abdominal cavity. As you inhale, the diaphragm contracts and it's sort of bowl-shaped. It pulls downward as you inhale, down towards your hips, pulls down towards your hips. In the process, compressing your entire abdominal cavity. So all of your organs get massaged and kind of smooshed toward the bottom of your abdominal cavity. And at the same time, it sucks the air into your lungs. It draws it in. Okay? Feel all of that. And on the exhale, the diaphragm relaxes and it presses back up towards your lungs. It releases that pressure on your abdominal cavity and the organs kind of spread out again. The belly falls. But then we can take it a step further and make it a more active exhale by really compressing the belly button inward toward the spine and kind of wrapping all the belly muscles inward. And that further compresses the abdominal cavity and presses the diaphragm upward. Okay, that helps you get more air out of the lungs. And then we're also using all the little muscles between the ribs and in the chest to further compress the rib cage. Really squeezing that air out, okay? So I want you to find some activity in your inhales and exhales. Just some extra awareness of what's going on. Find some strength in the exhales, allowing the lungs to clean out each time. All right, keep your deep breath. Keep that moving. And we'll just add some movement here. So let's start off with some windshield wipers. Okay, knees are bent. We have the feet in toward the hips and then maybe out so that they're all the way off the mat. And we'll drop the knees side to side. Okay, beginning to wake up the hips, wake up the low back. Great glute massage. Okay, this can be quite gentle and effortless if you like, or you can start to activate it a little more. Okay, using your inner and outer hip strength to draw the knees downward more. So you decide how active you want that to be. All right, next time the knees point up, pause there and get all the feet up in the air. Let's circle the ankles out. Okay, let's start with some circles. Okay, we want to go until we feel the shins and the calves are getting a little bit warm. Reverse your circles. And let's do some figure eight. All the things an ankle can do, okay? Figure eight. And rewind your figure eights. And then write your name in capital letters. And then let it go. Bend your knees in towards your chest. Notice how that feels in your shins and your calves. Okay, so your knees are in towards your chest and just let them hover there. They may not come all the way in, but just keep them kind of moving in that direction. And take your arms out to the side. And we'll take a little bit deeper twist, okay? So we want to remember to keep our shoulder blades on the floor as we twist. And by grounding and giving ourselves that stability in the upper body, it'll allow us more mobility and more twisting in the low body. So let's hover the knees to the right. Remember to keep the shoulder blades down. Look to the left. Take a breath here. Hovering those knees. Let's bring the legs back through center. Then drop them to the left. Look to the right. Hover for a breath. Press the shoulder blades down. And then let's start to move side to side. Okay, bringing them through center and over to one side. Look away. Through center, then to the other side as you look away. So continue, please, just like this, side to side. I like to exhale as I twist and inhale back to center, but really just keep breathing. That's the most important thing. Just try not to let that breath stop going. Sometimes when we're focusing or exerting some kind of effort, we tend to hold the breath. So feel this nice little twisty massage rolling up your low back into your middle back. Should feel nice. And if it feels good, you can extend your knees a little bit. And if you have the space, you can extend them all the way, okay? Thinking about moving your feet towards your hands. So really move the feet toward the hands as much as you can if you have those legs extended. So a couple more times. Okay, should feel really nice on your back, this twist. Well, let's come back up and through center and pause here. Drop your feet by your hips and drop your hands by your hips. And we'll just take a little gentle bridge, just focusing more on mobility in the spine now. So before we come up into our bridge, we need to make sure that we're focused on a couple alignment cues. First of all, please make sure your nose is pointed straight at the ceiling, okay? As you move, sometimes it's tempting when the hips come up, our chins kind of tuck in towards our chest. Do the opposite of that. Make sure the chin is always spacious from the chest and the back of the neck never touches the floor. And then put an imaginary tennis ball between your knees, okay? Hold it there with some gentle inward engagement that leaves some space. With all that being said, with your longest spine ever, lift your hips on the inhale and lower them on the exhale. And we'll just take a few ups and downs, please. Keep the tennis ball between your knees, nose pointed up, long, long, long spine. And then let's start to make this up and down movement a rolling up and down. So we lift one vertebra at a time to roll the spine up. And we replace one vertebra at a time to bring it down. Okay, keep breathing here. This is nice as kind of a little back massage, okay, on the floor. And if you're enjoying the upper back massage aspect of it at the very top, I want to invite you to take your arms out to the side, maybe, okay, like cactus arms. And maybe spend a little extra time up at the top of your bridge, kind of smooshing out your shoulder blades, okay? Some of us are maybe even going to reach all the way back, okay? Just kind of find where you want your arms. And get that little massage up top. Okay, feels nice on the backs of your shoulders. You can kind of wiggle side to side on it. And the next time you come up into your bridge, let's just hang out there for a little while in this gentle inversion. So the hips are above the heart is above the head. We are inverting here. Put your tennis ball between your knees. If you dropped your tennis ball, put it back. Make sure your nose is pointing up. And if you want to hang out here with your arms in cactus or overhead, awesome. But if you'd like to open up the front of your shoulders now, join your hands underneath you. You can interlace your fingers and then possibly scoot your shoulder blades even further underneath your heart. And think of lifting your big heart toward the ceiling. Your arms are gently pushing the floor down, so are your feet. So is the back of your head for that matter. Okay, breathe here. Hopefully feeling very spacious across the front of your body, okay? I want you to cultivate big chest space, hip space, belly space. One more big breath here, please. And let's roll down really slowly, always cultivating length in the spine. As your hips touch down, go ahead and lengthen out your left leg. Just let it go on the floor. And get the right leg all the way up in the air. And maybe take your hands a little bit out to the side because we'll need them to balance, okay? We'll need them to keep ourselves from flopping over. So gaze up at the ceiling right above your nose and find a spot on the ceiling that you can draw a circle around with your right big toe. So make a pointy right toe. Feel free to bend the right knee more to make this less gentle on your more gentle on your hamstring. You bend the knee more. If you like the hamstring opening, you can extend the knee fully, but it's your choice. Okay, so with your right big toe coming from your hip, please draw a circle around that spot on the ceiling. Tiny and slow. So I want you to really cultivate slowness here because we're not concerned with throwing the leg around in space. We're concerned with controlling its movement very skillfully, aren't we? Okay, so a little bigger with your circles each time. And I want you to really work to make them circly, okay? And it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. So a little bit of challenge. Okay, let's make the circles bigger and bigger and bigger. So you'll notice as the circles get bigger than you are, then you're going to have to use your hands to keep yourself from kind of flopping over with your legs. So use your hands to brace yourself. Bigger. Okay, so now I really want you to get big with it, big and weird. Okay, as the foot moves over to the left, allow your right glute to peel up off the floor and make that circle even bigger. Allow the right foot to come way out to the right as well. So we're going for maximum range of motion now. If you have a small space like I do, you may end up having to bend your knee to get that range of motion, but do go for it, please. Okay, so we are using 100% of the pain-free range of motion in this right hip. Massaging it out, crunching out mineral deposits, warming it. Okay, let's reverse the circles. Keep them big, please. Keep them slow. But this time, let's push through the heel. Big and slow. Twist, and then back to center. Keep it going. All from the hip. Okay, we're slowly going to spiral back inward. Okay, keyword slowly. No rush, please. Still big and slow, spiraling inward. Back the way we came. Okay, getting smaller, still pushing through the heel, smaller. Smaller and smaller until, okay, they're pretty small. Go ahead and bend that knee and pull it in, okay? And you can grab behind the thigh if you like, or in front of the knee. But let's just spend a little time squeezing that knee in towards your chest, that right knee. Hold right here, appreciating any extra warmth in the hip. Okay, now that you've had it here for a moment, maybe with your hands on that right knee, you could kind of wiggle it side to side. So wiggle it over more to the left, wiggle it more to the right, kind of giving all the tissues around that hip joint a little bit more massage. And then let's get into the hamstring a little bit more. So if your hands are on the right shin, bring them back to the right thigh, so the back of the thigh. Flex that foot, right foot, and then press the heel up to the ceiling, just as far as you want to press it up. Perhaps preserving a bend in the knee, if that makes more sense. Okay, and then try to kick yourself in the glute. So pull the heel back towards your glute. Press the heel up, and kick yourself. Okay, so take a few more rounds like this, up and down. Okay, we're just waking up your hamstring a little bit. So if you really keep that ankle flexed, the right ankle, then this should feel nice in your calf as well, a little bonus calf stretch. And the next time you press up, hold right there, and we'll just enjoy this. So you feel the hamstrings, the big muscles under your hands on the back of your thigh. So I want you to push the heel just high enough that those muscles feel a perfect amount of lengthening. No pain, no stress. Okay, press the shoulder blades into the mat as you do that. And think of pressing that heel toward the ceiling. Hold and breathe. If everything's going well and you want to deepen that opening, you can move the knee, the right knee, closer to your chest, as if you're trying to put the right toes behind your head. Remember to breathe. All right, as you're ready, bend that right knee back. Okay, release that hamstring stretch. Let's bring in the left foot and place it by the hips. Okay, so the left knee's pointed up now. And we can put the right ankle on that left knee and let it go. Okay, a little figure four stretch here. So I'd like to take us through a little figure four flow. We're thinking of moving the right knee away here. So we're not touching it. We're not helping it with our hands. We're letting it do its own thing. Flexing that right ankle, big time, move the knee away. If this is quite enough, then you can just hang here. If you want to deepen it a little bit, pick up the left foot up off the floor. Of course, it's going to bring the right leg with it. And you can take your hands to the back of your left thigh, okay? Now I want you to resist the temptation to push your right leg with your arms. Just resist that. Let the right leg do its own work right now. Your arms are just touching the left leg, pulling it close. So we're looking for some nice opening around the right outer hip here. Maybe inner two, maybe hamstrings. Breathe into the perfect amount of lengthening here. Shoulder blades down. Right outer hip. Maybe one more breath here in your figure four. And then release that left foot back to the floor if you picked it up. Take your arms out a little bit to the side, and we'll start twisting this figure four shape. So crystallize it, lock it in, and we'll just drop it side to side. Okay, little figure four twisty. So as you move, do your best to keep the figure four shape. So keep the right knee moving away from you, and don't let it point back at you. Okay? Side to side a few times. Okay, hopefully feeling a nice massage on that right outer hip when you roll onto it, okay, and appreciate that. We have a floor massage element here. We also have a low back wringing out element. So next time you drop your knees to the right, pause right here, and we'll just hang and appreciate this little twist. So we're just going to change one thing before we settle in, and that is the left foot. We're going to walk the left foot to the left until we decide the knees are low enough. So you just go as far as you want to go. You can take it out quite far so that the knees come almost to the ground. It's really up to you. Once you've got the knees where you want them, look to the left. And I want you to give a gentle activation of the knees downward. So make sure it's not painful, please. But just a little activation will give us a greater sense of release. Okay, restoring balance. Remember to breathe. And then as you're ready, bring that back in. And this time, let's cross the right knee all the way over the left. We might single cross at the knee or double cross at the shins, whatever is appropriate for you. And let's drop the knees to the left. Okay, arms are out to the sides. We're looking to the right now. So another twist. If you want a little more here, you can try scooching the knees up closer to your left arm. It'll be a little bit more twisty. So let's make sure we ground our shoulder blades here, very important. And breathe. Shoulder blades are grounded. And we're just giving ourselves a little time to allow all this tissue on the right side, okay, from the rib cage to the low back, wrapping across that glute and outer hip to the IT band. It takes time for your brain to realize that it's safe to let go. So give yourself that time. Breathe. If you feel any sense of gripping, see if you can intentionally let go. Maybe one more breath here. Right, as you're ready, we'll start to bring it back in. So roll the legs back in, untangle them. And let's take a few windshield wipers just to shake it out. All right, and then let's extend that right leg and point the left toes straight up at the ceiling. So take a moment here to extend or bend your knee to the perfect degree. Okay, make it feel just right. Find that spot on the ceiling that you're going to draw your little circles around and start to slowly draw very perfect, very lovely little circles with your left big toe. Okay, all of this power and movement comes from your hip. So control from within. The circles are getting a little bigger with each round now. Okay, remember to use your hands to stabilize yourself. And if you have a small space, okay, like me, you're going to need to bend your knee to get that full range of motion out of the hip. So go ahead and bend that knee so you can really use all of your hip. Let's start to make the circles really big, okay? Pick up the left glute when the leg moves to the right so that it twists. It turns into a twist there. Do your best to keep your shoulder blades grounded. Again, stabilizing the upper body, we are rewarded with mobility in the lower body. So we've got some nice big slow circles here, all from the hip. Let's start to reverse them. Take them back the other way. This time push through the heel. And let's start to make them a little smaller each time. Bringing it back in. A little smaller and smaller and smaller. And then finally, they're pretty small. Go ahead and bring that left knee in towards your chest. Grab behind the thigh or in front of the shin. And take a moment just to squeeze that knee in. Remember to ground your shoulder blades here to the best of your ability. And once you feel kind of comfy, kind of settled in, start to move the knee side to side. Okay, even more massage element in that hip. And then let's take our hands to that, back to that thigh. So back to behind your left knee. Okay, fingers interlaced. Your hands are on those big muscles behind your thigh, okay, collectively called your hamstrings. And we'll start to press the left heel up to the ceiling with a really nice, strong ankle flex, and then pull the heel in towards your glutes. And let's do that a few times. Up to the ceiling, and in towards your glute. Okay, keep it going, keep breathing. So right now you're just kind of waking up your hamstring, saying hello, okay? No pain, no stress, no pushing past what's comfortable. And next time you do press that heel up, let's pause there. Flex the foot big time, flex that ankle. Remember to ground your shoulder blades if they tend to peel up, and breathe. Okay, we're just enjoying this hamstring lengthening for a little while. So if you want more, you could think of moving the knee toward your heart, and like your toes wanted to move toward the back of your head. And make sure it feels good, okay? And then as you're ready, soften up on that knee bend. Okay. Let's bring in the right foot. Plant it by your hips. And that left ankle can stack on top of the right knee. Go ahead and let go with your arms. Pull that left knee away from you. Just let your arms rest on the floor and just assess the feelings in the left inner and outer hip now. So left hip is our target. And if you have enough to deal with here, you just stay right here. If you want more, deepen it by pulling that right knee in. Grab the right thigh. Try not to push on the left leg. Let it do its own thing. The left knee pulls away as you move the right knee in. Okay, great. Outer hip stretch for the left hip. And we'll release that right foot back to the floor if you picked it up. Okay, let's try to keep this figure four shape as we start to twist. So arms out to the side. You can cactus them or take them out wide, but we'll drop the knees side to side. So a great glute massage and outer hip massage on the left here as we roll on the floor. Attempting to keep the figure four shape crisp, and always move the left knee away. Okay, next time the knees drop to the left, we'll pause there and just enjoy that little twist. So super gentle twist, okay? I call it pregnant twist because it's safe for pregnant women. That's how gentle it is. So think about walking your right foot over to the right until the right knee falls as low as you want it to go. You decide. Keep both feet flexed at the ankle, okay? And put a gentle engagement downward in your knees. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just give me a little bit of activity and look to the right and breathe. Notice any sensations in the right outer hip. Maybe one more breath here. And then let's bring the knees up, back up into center. This time we'll cross the left leg all the way over the right. Maybe single cross at the knees, double cross at the ankles, who knows? But we're dropping the knees to the right now and looking to the left. So this is a twist that we kind of want to give some time, okay? If you want it to be deeper, you can move your knees further up towards your right arm, okay? Maybe a little bit more there, but breathe into that left side body. Everything from the armpit all the way down to your left knee. All of that opening up here. Give it time to just let go. Maybe one more breath here. Try to release any gripping that could be holding you back from just releasing. And then let's roll the legs back and untangle and take some windshield wipers. And then as you're ready, friends, tuck one hand behind each knee, and then we'll just circle the hips out here. Big circly movements. Circle them the other way. And then rock yourself up. Come on up. And find that you can have a little comfy seat here. And let's put our feet together. So remember to put them as close to or far away from you as you like. Just respect your knees. If you put your feet really close, it could be a lot of compression on your knees, and that could be painful. So listen to your body there. Listen to those knees. And then drop your fingers beside you. Sit up nice and tall. And I'm going to ask you for just a little bit of effort here. So nothing crazy. Okay, start to press your feet together. So I want you to activate, all the musculature that would make it so that you could press your feet together. It's not a movement that we do often, and it might feel weird. So just breathe. Just try to make it happen. Find that long spine, long neck. Continue to press the feet together. As you do this, see if you could become aware of what is the musculature that even makes this happen. 3 more breaths, pressing the feet together. 2 more breaths. Last one. And release that effort. Okay, allow the knees to fall toward the mat. Let's play around a little bit. Okay, let's bring the right foot a little closer in toward you and move the left foot a little further away so that they are kind of on a balance beam with each other. The right foot's closer, the left foot is further. Okay, fingers out in front of you now. Make your longest spine. And with your long spine, okay, keeping in mind that your shoulders need to stay away from your ears. So keep that long neck, no turtleneck. We're starting to walk the fingers out. Take your time. So we have all the time in the world to just walk the fingers out. And make sure you're supporting your upper body here and you're not just hanging your upper body supported. You're definitely not jerking or pulling, and you're for sure not bouncing. So this is a very gentle, gradual thing. And you'll find if you don't force yourself to go any further than you naturally just go, your body will unfold quite nicely over time. So maybe your hands stay under your shoulders to support your upper body. Maybe you'd like to come down to your elbows. But with your right toes on your left heel, your feet will kind of stay right there. And you could continue to lengthen your heart past your toes. Let each inhale lengthen your spine and inflate the back of your body. And allow each exhale to move your heart a little further past your toes. Releasing tension in the back body, in the hips. Possibly just let your head hang here, but please keep your long neck. And maybe today, maybe another day, maybe another lifetime, maybe your forehead just rests on one of your feet. Take a few more breaths here, just allowing gravity to pull you down. Doing your best to keep the length in the spine. And then start to walk yourself up out of this. And grab your right foot and pick it up. Pick it up off the floor. You can grab it with both hands. And let's just see what happens if we kind of roll around on that left hip. So with your left foot in the air, you have some freedom to find a little maybe soreness in your left hip. You can roll on. Okay, picking the foot up in the air, you can experiment with extending the knee more or less. And then let's see what happens if you attempt to put your left foot into your right elbow crease. And the right arm should wrap nicely around to grab the left calf. Let's see if the left elbow wants to wrap around the right knee. And then that left hand can also hold on to your left calf. And so now you're holding this little baby, okay? You can rock your baby gently side to side. Attempt to sit up tall as you can. Okay, notice all the sensations in that left hip. Notice if there's something you want to roll onto. And then maybe notice if you want to extend that left knee a little more or less. Okay, might feel nice. And then if it feels good to really extend the knee, you can grab the left foot with both hands again, and then see if you want to fully extend that knee. Okay, maybe partially, could be a partial extension, but try it out. Fully extend, partially extend. If it feels good to fully extend it, think about pushing the foot up to the ceiling, pointing your toes back at you, and moving the toes towards your head. Hold right here. Breathe. Long spine. Big breath. One more really big breath here, okay? And then no matter what you are doing with your left leg, whatever you chose there, okay, you're going to take your left foot, so grab onto it, and pull it over past your right knee. Try to get your knees very close here. So you might take a little moment. We're headed into Gomukhasana, or cow face pose. We really want to release that outer hip, those glutes. So what I like to do is I like to sit up, taking my hands forward, put my knees really close together first, and then sit down between the feet. So you try that maybe, or some other manifestation, but we do want those knees close. You can try pulling your feet in towards you if you want this to be more gentle and just kind of a relaxing opening for your hips. If you want more of a deeper opening for your hips, you can move your feet away from you, but I wouldn't move them past your knees, okay? That's as far as I would go today. So wherever you'd like to be, go ahead and breathe. Okay, we want to ground a little extra into that left hip. Notice how you have to push into it more to get it to come down as heavy as the right. So do that. Nice breath here. Okay, notice all the sensations all around your hips and low back. If you decide you want a little more, you can lean more forward. And if you need to get out of it, you can lean back. All right, I'd like to seal this little left side flow off with one little twist. So let's take the right hand to the outside of the left knee, left fingers behind. Sit up nice and tall on your inhales. And on your exhales, look over your left shoulder, big twist. You can use the right arm to deepen your twist by pressing gently. One more breath. Go ahead and roll everything back through center here. And then if you lean back on your hands, you can untangle your legs and then bring them back to the same position we started in a little while ago. Feet together, as close as you'd like them to be, okay? Fingers down beside you, spine is long. And then we'll take a few breaths, again, trying to press the feet together. So do your best, press those feet together and breathe. Okay, notice where this action even comes from. It's not a normal action for humans. Okay, 3 more breaths, pressing the feet together. 2 more breaths. Last one. And release your effort. Now we'll just switch sides. So we'll take the left foot a little closer, the right foot a little further away. So your left toes are on your right heel. Okay? And then fingers down in front of you, long spine. And you're slowly allowing gravity to pull your heart past your feet. Okay? And the more you let gravity do most of the work, the better. Okay, so long spine inhales, fold on the exhales. Maybe coming down to your elbows, maybe not. Maybe allowing your head to rest on one of your feet. Just keep that long neck and always the length in the spine. Even if the spine is rounding, we still cultivate length, especially in the neck. And start to walk your hands back up by your hips. And grab the right foot, pick it up. Okay, start to just move it around, kind of rocking on that right hip, noticing soreness in any places, bending and extending the knee more or less. And then let's think about putting this right foot into your left elbow crease. Your left arm will hold it nicely. Perhaps your right arm wraps around the right knee. And hold your baby. Rock on it. Lift the knee as high as you like. Lift the foot as high as you like, okay? And then attempt to sit up straight and tall as you hug your baby in towards your chest. Okay, if all is going well here, you can think about more grabbing the right foot with both hands and extending the knee, partially or fully. Think about pressing the heel up and moving the toes straight back towards your face. Hold and breathe. All right, maybe one more big breath to enjoy here. And then allow that right leg to drape all the way over the left. We'll bend back into it, into that knee if we lengthen that, extend the right knee. So drape your knees together. I like to sit up, knees together, then sit down. So make it happen. Get to Gomukhasana. Feet towards your hips for less opening, feet away from your hips for more. And let's take a couple breaths here. Long spine. Paying attention to putting that right hip down because it needs a little extra press down here. Okay, if you want to deepen the openings here in your hips, you can try to press your knees toward each other. You can experiment with that. And for whatever you've cultivated here, let's add a twist. So left arm to that right knee. You can use it to kind of press off on. Right fingers behind you. Make your longest spine on your inhales. And look over that right shoulder on your exhales. Remember to breathe. One more breath here, friends. And we'll let this go. We'll bring it all back into center. Go ahead and lean back on your hands. Untangle your legs. Maybe windshield wipers here. And then as you're ready, roll all the way down to your back. Come on down. And we'll finish our practice here. So maybe finding a Shavasana with your arms and legs long. Palms and feet kind of flop open to the ceiling. Allow your breath to become very slow and effortless. Breath comes through your nose. Let the jaw hang slack. The tongue melts back in your throat. Your eyes melt into your head. Forehead is soft. With each exhale, release any tension that might be remaining in your body. And take a moment here to cultivate a sensation of bliss. Think about good things, happy things. Enjoy this luxurious moment with yourself. Please keep resting like this for as long as you can. Thank you so much for joining me.